Hi everyone, it's now 9:15 at night and I'm going to show you how I make my burger using minced beef and a variety of ingredients. So it's all homemade and I'm just going to show you what I put into my burger and you can go in and see if you can make one similar. You can add loads of different things and people do different types of burgers and try different things, and over the years I've tried lots of things and this is the one that I quite like. So I've got a chunk of minced beef. I have got a Tupperware of breadcrumbs. Now these are my own breadcrumbs, so this has literally been stale bread that I've put in a wee mixer and blended together. As you can see, there's some quite big chunks there, and I think it's a mixture of two breads. You can buy breadcrumbs from the supermarket, but I find there's always a couple of bits of bread or the end of a loaf left over. So when it's really hard, stick it in a blender or blend it up and you can freeze it. So I've just took that out of the freezer about 20 minutes ago. So that's my breadcrumbs. I have a little portion of milk. So rather than using eggs in my burger mix, I have found that milk works best for me. I've got a mixture of spices. So in here I've got a wee bit of chili powder, some cumin, and some paprika as well, and that's what I'm going to put in my burger. And I have some salt and some pepper as well. You can monitor how much salt goes in and out, whereas when you buy sort of home cooked burgers and shop made burgers, you don't really know what's in it, but you know what's in this from scratch. So squash the mince up. Okay, this one's all been defrosted for about 6 hours, I think. Everything's clean, hands are clean, everything else I hope is clean. So mash the meat, okay, and prepare to put the breadcrumbs in. Again, most things now I don't weigh, I just sort of put in what I think should go in. There's some pretty big chunks in there, but makes it a bit more authentic. Okay, you can use your hands if you prefer to use your hands. Let me see. Let's stick this on here. So mash the breadcrumbs up into the beef mince. And you can get your mince from anywhere. You can get it butchers, supermarket, some of the bigger stores, like Costco and things like that. Most of the time when I'm buying meat, I will bulk buy, so I'll buy a big chunk and then I'll split it up into smaller bits and then I'll put it in the freezer. So mash that all in. You can see here there's some big lumps, some big chunks. Try to mix it or mash it as well as possible so that it's evenly spread. I think with a burger, it's really got to be your choice, and it's trial and error that makes you like or not like something. I did try chopped up garlic and chopped onions, and then I would put them into the mix uncooked, but actually what I found is that the really raw the raw garlic and the raw onions was too much for me. Some people literally put the beef and then salt and pepper and a few breadcrumbs. So if you have got space in the freezer and you always have some bits of bread left over, then making your own breadcrumbs is really good. You can also use your own breadcrumbs, freeze them, and for like making breadcrumb chicken and things like that as well. So really versatile, and it gives it that bit something to stick to. Okay, it's pretty mixed. I'm going to drip in some milk again. I actually don't know how much you need, but it starts to go a bit squidgy. The bread absorbs a little bit of the milk, so make sure you really give it a good mash and a good mix. This is probably the hardest part, if there's a hard part. For me anyway, it takes the longest time. I've never used it, but I think you could use a food processor, but on quite a gentle mix, so it's just folding the stuff into the mince. But I guess with a fork, you can really see what's going on. You can do this as well, and you could make meatballs out of this. So really similar sort of ingredients for meatballs. You just make them tiny. If you maybe having the meatballs in an Italian sauce, you could add some herbs to it, so some oregano or some mixed herbs. I'm sure there's tons of different things that you can do depending on your taste and what you like. But today we're having good old burgers at after 9 o'clock at night. I've also got some cheese that'll go on the burgers after I've cooked it, some tomatoes, and I'm going to do a couple of fried eggs and some avocado and some bacon as well, so it's a good old burger. I have done burgers where you make the burger and then you almost make 2 smaller burgers, put some cheese in the middle, so blue cheese is really nice, squash them together and almost seal that bit of cheese inside the mince, and that is amazing. You've just got to make sure that it's not too thick, that it takes forever to cook. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny drop more milk. And what I do find is that if you can get most of your ingredients, all of your ingredients ready, it makes the job much easier. So you're not scrabbling around in your cupboards looking for stuff. I have done that before and I didn't have any breadcrumbs, so you're sort of just adding milk or egg and hoping for the best. So different sort of taste, different sort of texture. Again, really, the best thing you can do is to play about with different things until you find out what you like. Okay, so from here, so remember paprika, garlic, paprika, cumin, and some chili powder because I quite like spicy stuff. So spread that in. Good sugar. So I wouldn't say that I am a particularly good cook. I'm not like what you would call a cook or a chef maybe. I do cook, so I do like making things from scratch, and I do like knowing what goes into my food, so I'd much prefer to make something from scratch, so I know what's in it. So yeah, there might be some salt or some extra salt, or it looks like a lot of salt, or a bit extra pepper, or maybe like if you're making something with cream. But if you're making it from scratch, you know actually what's in it, which is really good. I've been talking to lots of the guys from the judo club, lots of the young boys and girls, about knowing what's in your food, which is one of the first steps, I think, to having a better diet. I appreciate that life's really busy, and sometimes you have to eat and grab on the go, but if it's at all possible that you can find half a day or an evening or one day a week to batch prepare food like chili and burgers, so you can make these and cook these and then freeze them, so that's pretty good. Okay, some salt. We've got this Himalayan pink salt, but you can get any salt. Ideally, I'm going to say ideally not table salt, but I don't think it really matters, to be honest. If you are on a low salt diet and omit the salt, but it does give it that little bit of a different taste. So make sure you mash that in. Again, if you want to use your hands, use your hands, because some people prefer that. Mash it all up. So out of this mix, that's quite a lot of mince, so I would say you will get normal 3 to 4 burgers, or if you've got young children, maybe more. But what you can probably do with kids is get them to say what they would like in it. So if you know what they like herbs wise, maybe they might like the chili or the cumin. You might just want a bit of salt and pepper. But I'll tell you what's really tasty, if you like feta cheese crumbled up and then mashed in is really nice. And then you can add some oregano as well. So it's almost like a Greek beef burger rather than a Greek pork. Okay, so I've put salt and pepper, breadcrumbs, cumin, chili and paprika in that. So tonight there's no chips on or nothing. We're going to have a big burger. And usually I'll do like roasted potatoes. So I'll get some potatoes and part boil them then for sort of 10-15 minutes so they're not too soft. Tip the water out, give them a sugar so that they go a bit fluffy and a bit battered, and then make sure you put them into a hot oven where you've heated the oil real hot, and then put them in there. Okay, that I think is pretty much done. I'm going to move that to one side. Remember, my hands are nice and clean, so I'm going to make, I think, possibly 3 or 4 burgers from that. So the best thing to do, look, you can make big meatballs as well. They're pretty cool, they're better baked. So I'm going to make a bit of a bigger burger. So just play about with it, give it a squeeze. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure it's stuck together. The milk and the breadcrumbs will stick it together. There you go. Nice big fat burger. I think we're going to make three big burgers. Okay, the smells are really nice. So as long as you've mixed everything up and it's pretty even. Okay, I've not used any flour because my hands are pretty cold and the burger's cold as well, but sometimes you want a bit of flour so it doesn't stick, or have a pot of cold water so your hands can go in. Especially if you're making loads of wee meatballs, because you'll need to roll them and your hands will get hot. So cold water, roll, cold water. Okay, so here we go with cooking the burgers, and put the pan on, not crazy hot. A little bit of rapeseed oil, not too much. Okay, let that heat. And turn it down a little bit. So I'm going to let that heat. I am going to slice, not finely, just slice my tomatoes. Ready for the burger. So again, slice it and then peel underneath. And you'll get a few nice slices of avocado. Cool. Okay, so that's that. Knife goes there to put 2 burgers in. It's getting nice and hot. Mine are pretty much the same thickness, so we're going to put 1 there. And I'm going to put 1 there. It's not crazy hot. It's hot enough. I've got 2 eggs here. I've got 2 eggs from my neighbours, so fresh chicken eggs, which are really cool, and the girls know which hen has laid which egg by the colour of it, so you get 4 different colours from the 4 different hens. So I'll do that in a moment. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat the bacon up and the eggs as well in this pan. Okay, so that's going to heat. So if you've only got 1 pan, you can do a couple of things. You can cook the bacon and the eggs first, and then put them aside, keep them warm, or probably the better way is to cook the burgers first, and then turn them and then let them rest, because they're quite nice if you leave them for a couple of minutes. Okay, so wee bit of oil. You can have less oil if you want. Burgers or beef's definitely got a wee bit of fat in it, so we will cook. Okay, give that a stir. Pop my bacon in here. So you can really, is that 2 bits? You can really put anything you want on a burger. You can make it just salad, or you can make it bacon and egg and all this stuff. What am I doing here? I'm just going to put it out the way. Pretty good. Bacon's going to start to sizzle. Burgers are quite nice. Just remember, especially if it's something that if you're new to cooking or you're just starting out, that if you're using something to flip raw meat or semi-raw meat, then that can't then touch your fresh stuff, okay? So you want to be really careful of keeping everything separate. And if you need to, wash your hands in between. That's really important. I know we're washing our hands loads at the moment anyway, but fine, up there looking good. There's some and they smell amazing. So we'll cook them a wee bit more. The bacon's about to try and get better, and then when we turn the burger over, I'm going to pop some cheese on the top and then pop the lid on so that the cheese melts. Got some nice bread to have with it. Really good. I've got my little waste bin so I can put all my food stuff in here, waste food stuff, and then I have got a hot composter, so I'm sort of just getting the hang of it at the moment. I've had it out a year and messed it up once or twice. You can put paper, shredded paper, cardboard, waste food, garden clippings and chippings. Make sure everything's small and it can go between 0 degrees to 60 or 80 degrees. And the higher it's composting, the higher temperature, the quicker it breaks down. And you can use it on your garden or your allotment or whatever you've got. Okay, I'm going to give those burgers a flip. The smells are amazing. You can see they're a nice colour underneath. They are beautiful. Okay, give them a minute or so and then I'll put the cheese on the lid. Lovely jubbly. In fact, I will put the cheese on now, big slices, so I'm going to half them, half and half. Okay, keep an eye on everything, make sure nothing's burning, smells are amazing, noise is loud. Okay, really good. Steam up pretty quick. I'm going to give that about a minute or so, minute and a half, and then I'm going to take that off the heat. I got my bacon at the butcher's the other day, so I've been going a bit more local for shopping and stuff. So fruit and veg, meat, and I was in the baker's. I was chatting in the baker's. I was in the butcher's chatting to the butcher, and they were saying that they've been busier than they've ever been, because people are shopping much more local. So that's my local butcher and local baker. And it's really nice and thick and delicious. Okay, bacon's cooking there. I am going to start to put my eggs in. I might need a tiny bit more oil for my eggs. It's not the most unhealthiest in and it's not the most healthiest in, but at least you know what's going into it. Okay, so go. This is doing good. I think I will transfer my bacon to my burger pot. Burgers will be nice. Again, if you're making these for kids, it's quite nice if you've got the time. If you've got the time to get them involved as well, because we really like to cook, I think, and I like to know what's in them. So, there we go. Fried eggs aren't my strongest point, if I'm honest. The blue one, usually I end up with some shell in. Okay, eggs on the go, burgers pretty much done, bacon pretty much done. I'm going to take them off the heat now. And they're just going to calm down a wee bit. Okay. There you have it, home cooked burger, cheese, bacon, bread, avocado, tomato, and your own helping of ketchup and mayo. Delicious.